Hey, what's up? Kiki Pinoy here. You're currently with the Cup of Geek. So baka na-miss nyo kami kasi last week wala yata kaming upload with Geek Talk PH or in the website. But sorry, we're back and we'll make sure that this discussion will be fun, will be interesting, and of course, lahat kayo makaka-relate with what we'll be discussing. And before we get into our topic today, which is Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, medyo late na to ha. So wala kayong dahilan para magdrama kayo ng mga
Pwede na
spoiler. Kasi for sure to
now. Going
full of
safe.
spoilers. So, yeah, again, my name is Geeky Pinoy, and you can catch me not just here on Geek Talk PH, but also in TikTok, in Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook page. And before we continue, let me get into my co-hosts. Okay, go Blake, introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. It is me, Blake Salcedo, aka Aqua Blake. You can always find me on TikTok, FB. I have FB page, guys. Don't forget to like and follow that. Instagram, Twitter. Forget about Twitter. And just to round it off again, we got our night of fun, Ray.
Hello, magandang umaga, magandang hapon, magandang gabi, at magandang araw sa inyo lahat who are watching this podcast at any time of the day. This Monday, no? So Monday tayo lumalabas sa Geek Talk PH page. I am Ray and I'm your night of fun. And you can also find me on these social media pages, no? So TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, pero I have a different handle on Twitter. And also, kung guys, if magpo-promote na rin ako. Comic-Con is also this weekend, March 3 to 4. Tama ba yung dates ko? Baka nagkamali ako sa dates, ano? 4 to 5, sorry. March 4 to 5,
4 to 5.
sa SM Mega Mall. So if you want to get a copy of Kwento Monster, find the Pen Lab Kumu booth lang sa sa Comic-Con. It will be at SM Mega Mall this March 4 to 5. So yung comic ko is also printed in this anthology. So Kwento Monster, pick up this book ngayon na sa weekend.
Nice. Strongly recommend. Ako, aminado ako. I already read that book. Thank you sa sponsor. Charot. Pinabili ko kayo rin. Pero well, guys, again, it's the best time as well to after sahod yan, kaya wala kayong dahilan, lalo na sa mga tatrabaho, wala kayong dahilan para hindi mag-drop by. So, yes,
Tapos
and this podcast...
Tapos diba? Na yung Valentine's. Wala na magsiselos na misis.
This podcast, by the way, this podcast is also, you can catch this on YouTube, in Spotify, and also in Apple Podcasts. So before we forget, baka magtampo yung mga streaming platforms natin dyan. Charat! Ayan, so let's get it on in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Yan hindi ko nakakalimutan si Ate Wasp. So, I know marami na nag-review na ito eh. So even our Geek Talk PH peeps already reviewed this. So we're not gonna get into deep dive on the story, on what happened, but let's just talk about it. What's the effect of this movie? Is it necessary? And of course, yung walang katapusang mga review ng mga critics before the showing of the movie itself, diba? Kasi, diba, alam naman natin, we have what we call the Rotten Tomatoes. If you are not familiar with them, they are actually critics or invited people. Usually, advance nila napapanood yan, diba, guys? Advance nila napapanood, and then they're given the chance to review the movie, give their feedback. And so before we get into it, so ano masasabi nyo? How was the experience first of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania?
What happened?
What? So, sorry, baka we might have the same feeling, So parang feeling ko we are one. I'm one with the critics. I'm the minority siguro of the audience. If I were to do the audience score, I'm the minority, but
Oh,
If you
we can give our scores. Why not, di ba?
But if you follow
Malay
me,
niyo yung
yun nga eh. If you follow me on Letterboxd, kasi ang scoring system sa Letterboxd is 1 to 5, pero you can also score the movies ng point 5.
uh,
So I guess the score that I gave Quantumania was 3.5 if I can remember correctly. Kasi
3.5.
for me,
Not bad, not
oh,
bad.
not bad na rin yun. Kasi for me, it was an enjoyable film at that time.
True.
At that time lang. So after the movie, nasa isip ko, will I rewatch this? Probably not. Yun yung feeling ko kasi parang there's a lot of things in the movie, in the story na feeling ko could have been better. Marami sanang improvements pa na in terms of storytelling. And guys, ang fear ko lang the writers of this movie are also the writers of Secret Wars. so
Rick and Morty tips.
I am a bit worried. I am a bit worried. So yeah, may issues ako sa story, although the graphics, the visual effects are also really good. Pero may even that may a little bit issues din ako, pero it can be worked out din naman. Especially that bald guy, si Modok. isa sa mga issues ko rin yan.
That's not Modok. That's
So,
Darren.
that's Darren with his head, diba? So parang pwede bang The Rock na lang yun.
Darren.
Si gawin tayo sa game mong Modor. Ayan.
Blake,
okay.
You.
Yeah, Blake.
I'll go.
You know when okay, obviously for one thing, we don't take a lot of Ant-Man and the Wasp movies seriously as much because he's B-list. He's B-list right now, but remember to the point where you make the third movie this big Avengers level threat that apparently for some reason they were able to win with a bunch of ants.
Wala bang battle cry na ants assemble.
Ants.
Army of ants assemble.
It's fine. Okay, sure. Third movie, make it bigger, bolder. But even though Ant-Man can become big, this is too much for an Ant-Man film, and it just I don't know. I thought they were gonna make it all right, but then they ruined a lot of things, but hid all that or tried to hide all that with really nice things like the usual comedy, visual effect. Not really the visual effects because there's a whole issue about that online right now. And MODOK, Darren, and Kang.
Yellow Jacket.
I was excited for Kang the most, except when the ant scene came in. I was like, okay, everything is good. Everything's good for Kang. Jonathan Majors, I love you. But ants, really?
Again, if you're gonna make Kang a big threat to the MCU, like what they did what they did with Thanos, diba? With Thanos kasi, there's a build up. You don't really see him in the movies, in the previous movies before he actually had his full appearance, diba? Na parang there's this build up, there's this excitement, there's this may ginagawa si Thanos in these planets and these worlds na parang we're not able to reach him yet, he's not able to visit us yet, but we're expecting him to come anytime soon. But with Kang, you're already given Kang at probably the first part of Phase 5, and then he
gets wiped out.
He loses to a bunch of ants.
It's there's the whole bunch of variants of Kang. Oh, don't worry, we'll just get a bunch of variants of ants. Variants. I'm still hopeful they fix that in the long run, but no, this movie is a no for me. I mean, I was already iffy with it when they recasted Cassie. I'm still not over that. I'm And then everything after with the movie itself is definitely not helping. Marvel, let's go.
Ikaw no, what do you think? Kami sobrang vocal na namin ni Blake.
Actually, with the sentiments naman, of course, that you're giving, guys, those are actually valid. Those are the same sentiments of majority din naman. For those people who really did not really enjoyed it, which is hindi naman sinasabing hindi enjoyable eh. It's really enjoyable. It's really amusing. But the question is the same with me. Will I rewatch it even in Disney Plus? Baka nga hindi eh. Sa totoo lang napanood ko na siya. Pero kumbaga yun nga wala siyang, kaya tingin ko it might not get to a certain box office because it's not to the point na hindi siya worth rewatching. Sa totoo lang. Pero hindi siya pangit. Hindi siya sobrang sablay like what we all expected nung una. It's enjoyable. But yes, of course, end of the day, the story will be the one to carry the movie and that will make a movie worth rewatching. Kasi yung visual effects, you can see that everywhere. Yung mga action scenes, yung fighting scenes, you can see that anywhere. Pero yung story, yun kasi yung identity ng movie. And I think it really lacked. Because what I heard, what Marvel is trying to fix right now, ang sakit pala nila, I don't know if it's sakit din yan ng mga ibang movie producers, while the script is ongoing, they're already in production.
Yeah.
So, it's really like, go.
No. Sisingit ko kasi, naalala ko when James Gunn, when he was announcing DCU, diba? Ang sabi niya, importante sa kanila right now is the script first before they go into production. So parang sinasabi ba niya when they were doing the previous Marvel films, like his project, diba? Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Hindi pa tapos yung script but they're already shooting the scenes, diba?
So, because I think that's in a business perspective point of view that they need to do something now. Kaya nga, diba, nagtabansagan silang more on quantity over quality, which both visual effects and storytelling was really compromised because they're trying to fit how many movies in 1 year? 4? And then how many series from Disney Plus? I think 3 or 4 din. Tapos may special presentation ka pang sinisingit, may Christmas ka pa. So, it's I think it's a given, it's a known fact na talagang magkakaroon talaga siya ng effect.
Decreasing quality,
not just story, 'di ba? Pati yung yung identity nila na continuation and connectivity naapektuhan din. Kasi doon nakikita na parang hindi naman, parang ito ba kailangan pang panoorin or hindi. Sabihin na natin pwede ka naman manood ng standalone pero kasi yun yung identity ng Marvel That's where they were known, connectivity and connection. So ako, I enjoyed it. I think it doesn't deserve the 48% na nakuha nila from Rotten Tomatoes. Pero tingin ko nga 60. Ganon. Hindi naman 48. Mga 60 sa akin.
Mid pa rin pero a little bit higher.
Oo, hindi siya. Wag natin siya syempre laging nagiging sakit ng mga Marvel fans or sabihin natin MCU fans. Kung tamaan kayo, guys, all on me. Sanay na ako nakaka-cancel.
Naka-Fantastic Four shirt ka pa naman. ako gusto kong mag-say something about Marvel na hindi ko gusto, pero naka-Batman shirt kasi ako, so baka sabihin nila, DC fan ka
DC fan. Hindi kasi ang nagiging problema nga ng MCU fan, kung tamaan sorry na lang. Pero wag natin i-compare lahat ng movie na lalabas sa Endgame. Laging kada labas ng movie ay better yung Endgame. Lumabas si Eternals ay better si Endgame. Parang, yun yung benchmark of a really good Marvel movie. Pero it took how many years
to build that up, correct.
Diba? To build the story. And alam naman natin, the Russo brothers are really super good. And sad to say, they won't be making another MCU movie anytime soon. Baka nga sa kapitbahay natin makita gumawa yan, which is matindi. Pero yun, sa akin, I, I, I enjoyed it, but it's not that yung sobrang tindi ang effect sa akin. Pero yun, it's still good. It's still good.
Alam mo yung
Ano
ano?
bang
Alam mo yung I think the real culprit talaga behind this one was the previous Disney management. The previous Disney management was run by Bob Chapek.
Chapek.
Yeah.
The,
Bob, ang background ang na research ko at napag-aralan talaga, no. So Bob Chapek was basically a business guy. So when he came in as the CEO of Walt Disney, basically ang ginawa niya is to hire a lot of numbers people. So when they hired a lot of numbers people, they saw that the franchises themselves make money. So when we do the math as business people, the more we have, the more money that will come in. Diba? The more we create, the more money that will come in. So probably that was the direction that was given to sino to? To Kevin Feige, diba? So that was the direction given to Kevin Feige, and so we had a lot of content for Phase 4 and a lot of plan for Phase 5. Now that Bob Iger, the new and returning CEO of Disney is back, he's now saying, no, let's get back the creative side of Disney. Diba? And I think that's what's really important sa isang Disney na brand and Marvel na brand is go back to what Disney is, being creative. And ito yung nawawala in the previous shows ng Marvel rin na it's becoming flat for some of the shows. It's becoming the usual comic book stories and nothing really new that we're getting from. And so when and we now have Bob Iger as the new CEO, you have now a new direction from Kevin Feige. No, we're cutting the slate for Phase 5. We're pushing back a lot of the shows for this year.
A lot of series, yeah.
May mga series na mapupush back na to 2024. And that's a good thing kasi they can now go back to their drawing boards, reset their stories, reset their plans, and make sure that they come out with a better project.
Agree.
Sana.
But then there's another issue.
Go Blake.
For example, like the whole quality quantity thing, because they're going to get back to quality little by little. Pero the biggest concern right now everyone has is the visual effects and how the people who do the visual effects and the production staff of it tend to get relegated to doing a lot of difficult tasks, and basically some of their basically some of their materials or their time and whatever, or resources rather, would go on to more important projects rather than all projects as much as possible, so it's all equal balance. Say for example, recently there was a lot of visual artists who worked on Quantumania that were saying that they didn't have enough resources because all of them were more focused on making the visuals of Black Panther look great. And at first, you'd think, okay, no, this is probably just them trying to get attention. But then you look at the visuals of Black Panther and you compare that to Ant-Man Quantumania, and then you remember that little joke that She-Hulk had in her show that can't afford the budget. This is the writers saying, yeah, we really can't afford the budget, even though we've earned billions of dollars in the box office. We just really can't spare the manpower. Why does this sound familiar? Locally. It's not just us guys.
No, I guess it's also
US in.
I guess it's also across industries naman, and that's really the problem, diba? So you only have a limited amount of resources, and then you push out a lot of content. So your resources it's gonna be strained. So if you're just getting resources from a single ano 'di ba provider. So halimbawa ito, I'm not sure who did the visual effects sa sa Marvel movies. Hindi ko lang ma-recall pero if you're getting that from one company alone and they have a limited resource, hindi naman ganun kadali rin to just hire people and train them in your process. So probably they have to relook at that process as well. So maraming kailangan gawin, and then I don't know if kayang-kaya nga siya to chase after the initially planned projects for this year. So they really have to step back and reset.
It's like, chill on, guys. It's not like the cinematic universe is gonna go away in 10 years or 20 years. You can go on for 100 years. Just relax. Easy lang, Brad.
Take your time.
Take your time. The whole theme of this new MCU is about time travel and multiverse. You have all the time in the world. Just recast someone if ever they get too old. Variants.
Okay, question, guys. Question lang sa inyo. Is this also the reason why we have superhero fatigue?
Superhero fatigue.
Ano ba, bila natahimik ka? Napaisip.
I would.
Sige.
I would. ako, with superhero fatigue, since I started doing content creation, I felt this numerous times. Not just, I think it's because, yun nga wala nang parang minsan wala nang naiiwan sa'yo na ibabaon mo or kasi important yung yes, even though there are a lot of programs, there are a lot of movies, series, pero yung yung may iwan sa'yo ng series na yun yung importante. And I think that's the storytelling part. Parang ito yung unique dito. Pwede kong balikan. Ito yung when you're getting the same formula of programs like what's happening with the MCU. Doon talaga yung superhero fatigue, yung comic book hero fatigue pumapasok talaga. And buti na lang with us, sabi ko nga, buti may comics kasi yung comics yung takbuhan ko pag pagod na ako eh. Pag I'm feeling exhausted with just reviewing movies and programs ng mga superheroes. May comics na, ay, dito muna ako. Basa na lang ako muna. Kasi kumbaga, it doesn't ruin your expectations. It always leave a mark for sure pag comic book talaga. And that's for me. Well, sa inyo, ano ba? Yung totoo.
I mean, I don't know. For me, there's a lot. Compared to early 2000s, there isn't. There were some, of course, some comic book movies, especially in the 80s, 90s. There were some, but it wasn't as much as now. And of course, at that time, we were always hoping we want more of these, more of these, more of these. And we finally got it. But I think it just came to a point now when we got what we wanted. Too much of it started to just spoil us, and at that point, we started to get bored of it. That there's not much excitement for things as much because now it also feels more like a chore rather than the next big thing to be excited for. Because especially now with the Disney Plus shows, because now the after credit scene of Quantumania is a teaser for Loki season 2. Okay, now we gotta watch Loki because I didn't watch season 1, so I gotta go watch season 2. And WandaVision basically set up Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. You couldn't be able to understand why Wanda turned evil without watching WandaVision, even though they still didn't clearly set it up. But of course, they had to change it last minute for some reason. Marvel, why? Anyways, yeah, parang ganun. It's like you have to go through all these different layers or different branches just to be able to enjoy something as it is. Because now you can hardly do that. So nowadays, for example, me, if I were to see a movie spoiler for a superhero film, especially on TikTok, because that happens a lot. Thanks, guys. Thanks, whoever does that. You're the real heroes.
Good job.
Yeah, at that point, I just kind of got desensitized. You
Mhm.
know, like I'm just like, oh, damn, this happened. Okay. I still want to watch it, but eh, I don't know. That's
Yep,
nakapagod na eh.
to your point, Blake, no. So I watched Quantumania on the first day. Unfortunately I was not able to attend the block screening at SM North because my day job had me reporting at our Laguna site during that day. So I was in Laguna, and normally when I report there, I go fetch my wife in Alabang. And since it's a Wednesday and it's the first day of Quantumania, I told my wife, "Tara, let's go watch the movie. Let's take the last full show since we're already here and there are malls nearby the office." So we watched the film, and I just noticed this sa cinemas. And I'm not sure if it's really because there's also a change in the cinema going behavior, or the excitement of the public with this movie. Kasi before, when we go watch, I think the last time that I remember that a Marvel film was packed on a regular cinema, on a regular schedule, was probably the times when Infinity War and Endgame were going to be in the movies. So parang you can fill up cinemas immediately because of these movies. And then we had a pandemic afterwards, so medyo the cinemas were really down and out during that time. And then they're trying to recover starting last year. But I noticed that cinema going is still not really as kumbaga back in terms of for it being normal. So these blockbuster movies are not getting the same amount of people attending the cinemas. So naisip ko, when I went to watch Quantumania, and expect ko, siguro mapupuno tong cinema na to. Probably it had, let's say, mga around 100 seats. And when I observed nung people going in the cinema, feeling ko nasa ano lang, 10-11% of the cinema. Or 10 to 15% of the cinema was occupied. And that's napaka-konti on the first day of a Marvel film. 'Di ba? May mga friends din ako na usually would watch on the first day na hindi na rin ginagawa ngayon. They wait for the reviews before they watch. So I guess important to get initial info before they spend money dun sa movie na yon. And right now na nga in
Of
terms of
course. Kasi mahal na rin eh.
mahal na rin
talaga yung sine
eh.
ngayon.
So important right now that a Marvel movie has to be rewatchable and yung value for money. So if you look at the box office numbers right now of Quantumania, I think they hit 120 USD on the first week. Pero
Domestic.
on the second week sobrang baba. I think around 70% ang decline. So it doesn't have that rewatchability. People are also not really excited to go to the cinemas right now and watch it. So parang you have to play with that you have to play with that environment. And how can you play with that environment but provide a really good story? So nakakalungkot isipin na pumunta ako ng cinema on the first day. Ako bilang isang comic book fan, excited ako na okay, first time ulit na makakapanood ako on the first day, 'di ba? So parang yes, let's do this. The movie was 9 o'clock, we were there 8:30, nakaupo na kami. Hindi pa nag-start yung movie. Kami pa lang ang nasa cinema. Pumasok yung pumasok yung mga ticket movie goers mga around quarter to 9 p.m. Eh napaka-onti nang pumapasok. Na parang this is a Marvel movie right now. It's not getting a lot of people watching the films. So it's just that sad nung yung experience na yun. And syempre, 'di ba? We're expecting na yung mga magagandang scenes, people will cheer, people will celebrate. Wala. It's not there. The magic is gone.
The magic is missing.
The magic is missing.
Ayun. Hopefully, diba, pinag-usapan natin earlier. Now Bob Iger is back in Disney. I think it also affected a lot, not just in Marvel, even yung mga Pixar movies were pushed, yung mga Frozen, yung mga Zootopia from Pixar, then a lot of programs, of course, in Disney Plus, like Agatha in the Coven of something,
Darkness.
I forgot na pinaka niya. Yung Ironheart na move din, yung Echo na move din. There are a lot of things that are being pushed, and hopefully things will be better as far as with screenwriting. Kasi with storytelling. Kasi kumbaga we know that it may not be our market. Totoo ito kasi 'di ba laging sinasabi ng iba, bakit kasi hindi kayo yung market kaya hindi kayo nagandahan? Or because it's PG-13, it's for kids. There are a lot of great storytelling in kids movies. So you cannot make an excuse na dahil pambata yan, yung storytelling will be compromised. Ako, I don't believe in, it's PG-13. Bakit mag-expect kayo ng kailangan ma-please kayong matatanda or ma-please kayong mga regular moviegoer? It's not. Because storytelling is storytelling. Storytelling is one factor bakit ang bata nahilig sa books. Nagsisimula kayo sa mga fables, fairy tales, then nagsa-start ang bata sa storytelling. And it will be the same factor that should be seen in all movies across any genre, not just in the MCU. Kaya, oo, pwedeng hindi kami yung market, pero dapat yung storytelling maganda at maayos. Yun ang tingin ko really lack in the MCU programs nowadays and should be focused talaga. Kasi lalo na ngayon, di ba, dadami na yung mga Marvel movies na hindi kailangan ng sobrang VFX. Tulad ng Daredevil, yung mga street level nilang characters will be there na. Papasok na yan. Hindi kailangan na matinding VFX yan. Kung makompromise nyo pa yung storytelling, saan na pupulutin yung mga programs, di ba? Like the Echo series, di ba? Hindi naman kailangan ng sobrang VFX yan. Or na, yun nga, Daredevil, sino pa ba? Iron Fist,
si Hawkeye, kung gusto lang gawin ng ano,
diba? Why was it very good when it was on Netflix? Kasi ang ganda ng storytelling nila. And that is the same, yung same momentum na hinahanap ng mga fans pag pumunta sila ng Disney. Eh, let's see. Pero eto, yung question ko naman, I think we won't, sabi nga natin, we won't dig much deeper with the movie itself. Was it essential to watch for in the bigger picture? Kasi 'di ba sabi nga natin, si Thanos lumabas lang yan at lumaban, Infinity Wars na. Si Kang, dahil sa dami ng variant niya, maya ba natin siya makikita sa kada program ng Marvel at siya pa rin makikita natin sa Secret Wars and sa Kang Dynasty. Hindi ba tayo mauumay kay Jonathan Majors? But was Ant-Man and the Wasp essential, or kahit hindi mo ba siya mapanood, okay lang?
Ako, I have two things. Ang essential na Kang story in the MCU would be from Loki. Yung kwento ni He Who Remains.
The introduction.
Sa Quantumania, the only essential thing that you can bring in the MCU would be the post-credit scenes.
Yeah.
Hindi yung main story.
The one with Loki or the
both, actually.
Council?
Both. The Council, the one with Loki. Kasi the Council, for example, gives you a lot more expanded thoughts on what will happen in the MCU. You get the different variants of Kang, hindi ko na maalala yung name sa top of my head, pero I can remember si Ramatut ba yun? Something like that. And then yung syempre yung Loki post credit scene is also big kasi there's something big that's gonna happen sa Loki season 2.
Mr. Timely yun, no?
Si Mr. Timely tapos correct, yun din yun. So important yun to push the MCU, the big picture MCU story forward. Pero the main story sa Quantumania, sabi ko nga sa TikTok video, can be forgettable.
You, Blake.
Well, pretty much I know what Ray said. Pero I would like to bring up something that a lot of people online have been talking about as well. And I think if they had kept this in the film instead of what we got, it would have made Kang a much more compelling character, and it would have made the film a little bit more, shall we say, memorable and acceptable for audiences. Because basically, word on the street is, or rather, word online is that, and this came from a leak that came out months before the film was released. Basically, it leaked the ending of the film. So, of course, if you guys are watching this, obviously you guys know what the ending is. If you haven't watched it, you probably saw it online anyway. Anyways, so of course the ending has, Scott and Hope, defeating Kang, and they seemingly get stuck in the quantum realm. But then, of course, Cassie brings him back, and they have, this whole big, fake happy birthday celebration at the end, whatever, etc., etc. Technically, that whole celebration in the end of the film was actually reshot recently, like almost last minute before they released the film. And there's so much proof of that because, for one thing, Evangeline Lilly plays Hope. Her hair is a different shade of color, which in real life she already dyed her hair. So stands to reason, okay, they had a last minute thing because, and of course, they wanted it to have a more happy-ish ending that's a bit, foreshadowing. But the original ending was supposed to be, if I remember this correctly, Kang gets out. He escapes the quantum realm. Scott and Hope are trapped there. Cassie is trying to get him back. And of course, they're staying there. It's like, okay, we're just going to stay here for a bit. And then Cassie is there, trying to figure out how to, get him out. And then when she looks at the screen, her eyes widen up, like, and then cut to black, credits roll. That's how it ends. And I'm just like, do you mean to tell me that they got the ending where the main hero, who obviously could not have defeated Kang, who said in the trailer, which is a big thing people remember, the line of, it doesn't matter
Whoever
I
wins or
win
lose, yep. As long as we
yeah,
both,
like, lose.
Yep.
That's a pretty cool line, which could have been like the best way to say, like, yeah, this is how it's gonna end for the character. Because of course, I mean, it's Ant-Man. He's definitely not gonna be able to defeat Kang like that. So I think with the original ending they had intended, it would have made Kang a lot more menacing moving forward.
Scarier.
Instead of getting sucked into somewhere else, God knows where. And Marvel, look back. Empire Strikes Back. They had a pretty downer ending. It's one of the greatest films of all time. Your film was basically almost Star Wars anyway, as people say.
Correct.
Why not go full Empire? You could have went Empire. You went Rise of Skywalker.
That's a good one. It's definitely a good one. Yeah. Rise of Skywalker.
I think all we can do really for now is, what will be the next MCU movie? That will be Guardians of the Galaxy, right? And then we're gonna have Secret Invasion in a few months, I think. Di ko alam kung June or May ang Secret Invasion, but Secret Invasion so far for me is, as far as with the trailer, medyo promising siya. There's no joking around as far as with the trailer. It's really, we all know Samuel L. Jackson will not gonna do something stupid in an MCU film. Pero let's still hope, kasi kumbaga the time that Samuel L. Jackson was present was in Miss Marvel. Tama ba? Or Captain Marvel?
End credit
Captain
scene.
Marvel pa yung huli niya, di ba? So, I think some people would still wait for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania in the Disney Plus. Ako gusto ko yung makita yung VFX. How is it in the television? Yun yung tignan ko. And I know this might be a late discussion of this specific movie, but Hope you guys won't see us as haters of MCU. We are just haters of bad storytelling. That's for sure. Okay? And that's one thing as well. MCU before is well known in following comics. Hopefully they stick to that. Kasi I think that's one identity that MCU is losing, or they're getting far from the source materials. Hopefully they get back on track. Kasi I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it will go. Bob Iger is back. Hopefully, sabi nga nila, quality over quantity should be the top priority, and go back to their storyboards. So that's our short discussion of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania and our rants with storytelling. Pero, that's life. That's everything's good. Hopefully,
pero
things will be better.
I'm still hoping they're gonna make a Ghost Rider movie. Please.
Sana, di ba?
Remember, guys, we do not hate Marvel, guys.
Do not.
Not hate Marvel.
Oh, Teen Titans.
Teen Titans. And the Batman shirt. Alright.
Disclaimer: we are not siding with anybody yet.
Yep.
All love, guys. All love.
Alright. So before we wrap up, anything you guys want to add? Anything you want to again, Comic-Cat, guys? Is that 2 days? 2 days?
Yep. Saturday, Sunday.
Saturdays.
Yep.
All right. So, yeah, again, my name is Geeky Pinoy. Again, this episode is on Geek Talk PH. Monday to. So, guys, continue following all the programs on Geek Talk PH. Like, follow, and as well, do interactions. You can leave your comments. You can leave your, even your rants. Kung may problema ba kayo sa amin, go lang.
Comment if you think that our views are different from yours. Tell us in the comments so that we can
diba?
we can also interact with
Enlighten us if you have Tara.
Don't get intimidated with Blake. It's fine. He's friendly.
So continue to follow us as well in Spotify and YouTube, and of course in Apple Podcasts if you would like to listen just audio, like most of the peeps na kilala ko. Most of my office mates are listening to us kasi sabi nila in Apple Podcasts dahil habang nagtatrabaho sila.
Yeah, oo, tama.
Kasi hindi naman nila mapapanood. So they prefer listening to us in Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much, guys, for supporting us. Yeah. Anything else you would like to add before we wrap this up?
We're good. Don't argue with us.
Papanaginipan ka nila.
I'm taking this very seriously, guys. Come on.
Literally.
Baron guys, their era na to.
Baron guys, their era. Asa na sabaw? Asa na sabaw?
Asa yung sabaw?
Hindi na ako magugulat if one day Blake's gonna show up sa Batang Quiapo anytime soon.
Batang Quiapo. Si Blake nasa Batang Quiapo tapos nandun sa Channel 7.
I'll be like, I play both sides. I'm James Gunn, everybody.
Yeah. And I have many variants.
I have many variants. Like, anong gusto mo? Yung ABS version ko, yung GMA version ko, yung version ko, yung maybe not that version, pero okay, yun lang. Yun lang.
Yung Viva
Max.
Sunod doon. Viva Passion.
Ay, baka masyado yung mga tao.
Wala. Comment.
PG-13 to, guys. PG-13, hindi X-rated.
I-release nga natin ito mga 12 a.m. na madaling araw sa PH.
Geek Talk PH.
Geek Talk PH by night. So, guys, thank you so much for listening to us again. This is Geeky Pinoy, Aqua Blake, and Knights of One. Thank you so much for listening to us. And again, continue following Geek Talk PH. And good night, good morning, wherever you are. Thank you so much. It's a wrap.
Bye.
Fight us.